Welcome to the Microsoft Office Add-ins Community Call. It is 8 a.m. March 9th here in overcast Redmond. So welcome everyone for joining us. My name is Alex Jerabek. I'll be hosting today's call. If you have any questions, please drop them in the chat. We have members of the product team here ready to help answer you. If your questions do not get answered during this call, we will be posting the answers in our follow-up blog post on the M365 developer blog. All right. So today on our call, we have an update on the Excel API 1.15 requirement set. These slides were done by our software engineer on the Excel API side, Sirui Sun, although she could not make it today, so I'll be presenting on her behalf. So one of the themes of Excel 1.15 is this idea of bidirectional discovery. So we're adding more APIs to enable your add-ins to discover the source of data. So we see like in pivot table, you can get where the data generating that pivot table is coming from and what type of thing, whether it's a range or table or what have you. We're also expanding the work that was done with range to add in the get dependence API. So now from a single cell, you can see what other cells it affects. And so this is all really building out those scenarios around transferring data from web service and getting it back into the source of the workbook and back and forth there. We also have a couple more APIs around shape and table. These are based on customer requests. Remember, we have our M365 developer suggestions, which I think was linked earlier, but we will have links to later in the presentation, where you can request features. We do look at that to help prioritize new additions to the API surface. So how do you use these new APIs while they're in preview? First, you need to change your CDN reference from 1.1 to beta. So this will get you the new stuff. And then if you want IntelliSense, reference the @types at office-js-preview. And this screenshot is from ScriptLab, so you can use these today in ScriptLab and test that out there. Just doing a little bit of a deeper dive into these dimension data source APIs or data source APIs. There's a set of two. There's the get the string and get the type, and this will let you get the address or table name or other label of the data source as well as the type, so your add-in can act appropriately. So for the chart series here, you can see if it's a local range or a list, and then act accordingly based on that information. We have some sample code here. If you're unable to type this very fast, we will be posting these slides afterwards in the blog summary. We'll also be adding ScriptLab samples for all of this stuff over the coming weeks. So please let us know if there are particular scenarios you're curious about or challenges you have while testing these out yourself. We're also adding the pivot table data source APIs, very similar to the chart series, string and the type, so you can figure out if that pivot table is generated from a table or a range and see that address of it, address or table name, and again, act accordingly. And some source code there. We're going to do a little demo of these APIs prepared by Siri. Now, I'm going to play a video on the next slide. So there's a little music. Make sure your speakers are adjusted accordingly. Again, if you are unable to see the video, we'll be posting all this later, so don't fret too much. All right, with that, let's play this little demo. and that is the update on Excel 1.15. So now we're going to go to the Q&A. These questions were submitted ahead of time through our question form, which we'll link to in a little bit, and as well as we'll go over some of the questions that have been popping up in the chat. So the first question was, when can we expect the get selected data async functionality to be applied for shapes in a PowerPoint presentation? Currently, there's no near-term plan to enable that support, but like I mentioned earlier, we have our M365 developer suggestions where you can post your feature requests or upvote ones, and that'll help us prioritize things. Then our second question was around Outlook integrations. This customer found that their Outlook integration broke because of some changes that happened, and they were wanting to know if there's advance notice about these so that they avoid the friction caused by downtime. And so first, we want to apologize for that. We try our best to communicate these and to avoid any breaking changes. So I think if these are happening and you're not aware of it, we need to know about that communication breakdown. So please let us know. There are people on this call who would love to hear about your problems and help proactively solve them. But as part of a larger picture, we are trying to align to the M365 roadmap and to better communicate upcoming changes and feature additions to our developer audience. So I saw there was a question in the chat about kind of having that roadmap. So we will be striving to post new stuff when we are more certain about the dates that are coming out on that. I realize that it's a bit of a meme. We always say, like, we can't tell you a release date yet, soon or eventually, but the roadmap will be a place where we can communicate our expected dates, assuming nothing goes awry, and that we'll be better able to give you an anticipation of what is coming forward. So let us know as we start to roll this out how that is working for you, if there's enough information there, if we're still missing important feature updates or other changes that you would love to be aware of. So, and as always, we welcome questions here. We'll try to announce new exciting things on the call. We also have our GitHub repos where you can report issues, and members of our team regularly check Stack Overflow and other places for other questions and issues. All right. Juan, was there anything in the chat you'd like to kind of address for the group?
Well, I actually was answering a question here from Brandon that we should have visibility, something related to this topic. Yeah, we're obviously welcome suggestions here. I think we're trying to do many things for you folks. This call is one example of, we always talk about what's coming here. We have a preview program, so we never ship something out of the blue. We always simulate in preview for many months so that you guys can play with it, give us feedback, help us make it more stable and stuff like that. And we have a requirement sets page that actually has a lot of detail on what's supported in what platform and in what builds, and et cetera. And also, we know that that's not always enough. So we're also planning to be on the roadmap, on the public roadmap. So we're going to experiment and see, if publishing in the Office 365 roadmap is also helpful. But we are always open to suggestions. No? So if you have anything that we can do to improve, do let us know, please, so that we can actually do it. At the end of the day, you are our community, so we want to make sure that you guys have clarity on what's in preview, what's coming, and in what platforms. So the roadmap will be awesome. Okay, Brandon, we're going to publish it there. They should. So there's a question also from Lynn around cursor placement. Yes, Lynn, we're working on that bug currently. So I hopefully we will release it soon. This is the bug that is moving the cursor and Outlook signature insertion. Set select data, yes. And I think that's what I can see now, Alex.
Awesome, thank you, Juan. Oh, and to Russell's question about where should questions and stuff be posted, I'll get to that in a second in the slide. It's just as we wrap up, if you're listening to this call and you're new to Office add-ins and want to try them out, we have a series of quick starts that'll get you a working add-in within 5 minutes. You can also use Script Lab to explore the individual APIs and see them working directly with a workbook or PowerPoint presentation or Word document. Also, if you're looking to automate Excel tasks in more, lighter, code-light fashion, we have Office scripts. You can check those out to get some web-based automation solutions there. Now, as far as resources go, the question was, where should we post questions to Microsoft Q&A or Stack Overflow or GitHub? And I mean, we check all of those. GitHub is the best place to post bugs or other issues like that. That helps us kind of categorize it and triage it and have a response to and understand how we're going to address it and communicate it. For developer questions, Stack Overflow is a great place to get help from the community as well as our team. And then, yeah, we are recently joining the Microsoft Q&A and checking stuff out there. We do look at those questions every week. So please, keep posting. Let us know if you feel your stuff is not getting answered, and we will make more of an effort to get out there and to address issues. If you're interested in other M365 development, other things in the platform, we have several calls. This call is just one in a larger series of community calls. You can find all the links here. Again, if you don't have time to copy all this down, we'll be posting these slides later in the M365 developer blog. Thank you very much. We'll have this recording up shortly in our blog and on YouTube later. The next call will be April 13th at 8 a.m. Pacific daily time. And yeah, thank you so much. If you have any questions, please, we'll stay in the chat for a while. We'll keep answering them, talking as long as you need. But as far as the call portion, that'll be it. Thank you very much and have a great rest of your day, everyone.